Welcome. I'm Danielle Sally.
And I'm Eva Fusa.
And you're listening to Ghost Boss, stories about the freelance afterlife. Hey, Ghosties.
Hey.
Welcome back. We are back in the studio this week with Heather Price from Chernoff Newman for part 2
That's
of
right.
our guest interview on Ghost Boss podcast.
The deuce.
I love it.
Just like last time, a lot of times we ramble for like 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to skip that.
No, we're
just gonna
jumping
jump
right in.
Right back in. So welcome back.
Thank you.
So last week we ended the conversation talking about how you might vet your freelancers that you work with. But now I kind of want to get into, are there any projects that you've worked on that maybe freelancers have played a pivotal role in making sure the project gets done?
Yes, there's a lot. And I will tell you, sometimes when we are pitching new business, it's easier to pull in a number of different players, and not just your traditional freelancer, but say production company.
Yeah.
If it's a really big video production type contract. So I think, yes, in terms of new business, it is super easy to bring somebody in. It's also very fresh, right? Like You're excited. You might not know who it is, this company. And so it's new and fresh ideas.
Yeah.
We've done that in the past, typically with people we've worked with. So
sure. There's a trust there, right? Know, and you're always under a tight deadline with those. So you need someone that you trust.
And our team appreciates that, because when it's business development type stuff, a lot of times that's above and beyond what you're doing in your day to day. And so having some extra bench, so you're not, working 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's
right.
nice.
It's nice.
So that's it's sort of give and take.
Yeah.
So it's worked really well there. I think in other iterations, it's like bits and pieces. So if we have a website and we know someone who can design and develop a website really well.
Do you know somebody in the room who might
somebody
right now?
in the room?
Does she have a podcast?
She might have a podcast. It might have 2 episodes with me on it.
Maybe.
So then thinking of it in terms of discipline driven. So if you have somebody who specializes in either broadcast or web development, design and development, that or print. I mean, there's been times long format print, especially when I first started out in my career. Do y'all know Carrie Johnson? Do you know Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay. So we did a lot of work with her. She had her own company, Galaxy Design, back then. And if we needed anything that was long format, she would jump in, roll her sleeves up, and, get busy. So it's just kind of knowing where people's niche is and how it can help us all succeed in the long term.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm sure there's niche too, like within like industry as well. So it might just be skill set. They may have come from I say that as somebody who came from 15 years in healthcare, right?
And so that's a really good point.
Yeah. Or somebody may have an extensive like agriculture background or banking or something like that.
Yeah. That brings a lot of cachet to the table too. Yeah. Be able to tap your brain, not just what you're doing, like physically your craft, but what you know about your experience. In that
that's
vertical.
huge.
Yeah, it's really big.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think one thing I hear a lot from my agency clients is how beneficial it is to just have that extra set of hands.
Sure.
And that's usually when I'm going after new business that is an agency, I kind of remind them of that. Like, that's how you should think of me, is an extra set of hands. Because a lot of times when I get brought in, it's because they're in the interview process, because maybe someone left, they're trying to find someone. They don't have time to do an interview and get the work done. Enter us, the freelancers.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that that is what it comes down to, is like, you are an extension of their team.
Right.
And so there is a trust factor there.
Yeah, definitely.
So since 2017, you've been an agency shareholder. What advice would you give freelancers who are trying to build out those long-term relationships?
That's a good question. I mean, I think part of it is doing the research to know what agencies are out. I'm speaking specifically about agencies.
Yeah. What
agencies are out there and which ones you want to work with.
Yes.
Because if you haven't had that introduction and you like the clients of X, Y, or Z, like, you just got to be kind of bold and brazen and pick up the phone and call somebody, or send a message,
or introduce yourself at an event, or figure out where they go and
put
then be there.
Out there.
Yeah, stalk them.
Yes.
I mean, like,
I know what you meant by that, but
like, we're not all stalking on LinkedIn and Instagram to figure out what we're trying to do.
But I will tell you, I mean, Danielle knows this about me. When we go to AAF shows, I will pull my phone out, and if there's work that I like, and the names are called out, I will take a photo, or I'll write down. I especially do that with the student show.
Sure.
I write down you know, all of those names.
So I hope any students listening hear that and they enter the American Advertising Awards.
That's a good plug.
Talk about good recruiting.
Yeah.
You're looking for a job, win something.
Yeah. I mean, we had 2 students win national this year. One from the J-School. I'm still calling it that. I don't care. One from the J-School and one from the School of Visual Arts.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
It is cool. Yeah. So I think I think as a freelancer, you have to identify what types of agency work you want to be doing. And you just have to put yourself out there to find new clients to work with.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I've been members of all different types of agency networks in my career. Every single agency has this issue. They need more people. They need more help.
Yeah.
They need really great talent that they might not be able to bring on as an FTE.
Sure.
So it's not like it's a problem for mid-sized agencies or small agencies. It's a problem for the big agencies too.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big commitment to bring on a full-time employee.
Yep.
And so I tell people, like, as a freelancer, because they're like, aren't you like scrounging for work? I'm like, business is booming right now. And part of it is the post-COVID boom. And I started my business right before COVID, as you know. Y'all were my first client.
Yes, exactly.
I posted on my Insta story one day when I was finally like in the grade.
Yeah, I remember that.
You replied, you're like, oh my God, did we pay you?
Yes.
Finally pay you. But like, I sent the invoice and then like, anyway,
to make sure. You gotta look after the people.
I like that was did we pay you?
You're like, did we pay you? I was like, you did. But somebody called me because I had a rough couple months during COVID where like nothing was happening. And a fellow freelancer who was a little bit more established called me and was like, I actually think the market's going to be better for us during this, because I think as the economy has kind of like staggered with this, not just with agencies, but with in-house, people are going to be a little shy to like hire a full-time employee. Yep. But that doesn't mean that like they don't need help. And so I've ended up with relationships for 3 or 4 years. One came from you, Allison. I talked to her today, and awesome. I mean, I'm on calls with them every week. But like, I think a lot of people end up in that situation.
Yeah. So one more agency related question, and then I'm letting Eva get into Zodiac, which was really important on the podcast.
I mean, like, we don't have to.
No, we're definitely doing it. That's how you learn the most about people. Is there anything that you think is just so cool that Chernoff Newman is doing right now? It could be work related. It could be something with a company culture. But is there anything cool you have going on right now that you think makes Chernoff Newman really stand out?
Well, I'm the weirdo who like wakes up at 2:00 in the morning thinking about, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to work tomorrow.
So you're a creative.
Yeah. and she'll email you.
Yeah. Yes. I'm getting very good at the send. Like you taught me that, Danielle. You taught me that.
We're all up at 2. We either haven't gone to bed yet, or we wake up with an idea.
Wake up, and then you're awake for like an hour, and you tell yourself, "Don't touch your phone," and then you touch your phone, and then.
But you can delay send.
That 2 to 3 hour block. It's the creative witching hour, man.
It is. So we've done some really cool, different things lately. I don't know if you know this, but next year is the 250th anniversary of our independence, and South Carolina led the way for that to happen. So we won the work to promote that and to get more people to come into South Carolina and see all of our revolutionary establishments and cool stuff. So we just launched a website.
Yeah. Nice.
But we have campaign work coming out that runs from now until the end of July 4th. But David Campbell, when you ask him about it, can tell you all the history that goes with this. So it's actually longer than July 4th. This is a celebration that goes further into the future.
Just like his stories.
Exactly.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep it in. He's one of those weird history guys. It's fine.
He is.
Listen,
he would make a face if I said that, but he wouldn't argue with me. I'm not wrong.
My brother is a historian, and he's a professor, and he wrote a book, and I walked into David Campbell's office one day, and his book was laying on the desk. I was like, what?
How weird.
So he had just seen me talk about, he
okay.
But I was like, I can't.
I mean, it's so cool.
What are the odds?
It's super strange. So that's a really cool thing that's going on.
Yeah.
We won some work from the University of South Florida.
Cool.
And it is, you'll love this, is healthcare. It's the Florida Center for Nursing. So we're actively, we had to pause it this week because of all of the hurricanes.
I was going to say, so I have clients in Tampa that work in hospitals in Tampa, and they were talking about the Aqua Wall going up and stuff.
Yes, I've heard about this.
side note, but I was going to say, have you checked in with your clients? Are they doing all right?
Everybody is good. Bruce is good. He's our general manager down there. But Bruce. Yes, you've met Bruce. I mean, Bruce. If you've met Bruce, you know.
No, I'm like, I know Bruce.
If you met him, you know.
I know.
The most lovable human being ever. So that's been really cool to do a statewide Florida campaign on top of the work we do with Fresh from Florida. It's just a different vertical for us down there, and that's really awesome. And then we're doing some really interesting things where we're combining creative, and this is, we've been talking about this forever, but Dan came in and just kind of like made it happen, where we're putting creative and PR and social together to go after different types of interesting ways to get clients into the ether with their audiences. And so we've got some really cool stuff. I'm not going to give it away, but we've got some cool stuff coming.
Because you might have competitors listening.
I know. So
we have quite the following here at this
It's just, we are different because we do have such when we say integrated, we mean completely integrated. And having our public affairs and PR folks, and then the creative on top of that, he's been able to really do some great work in thinking about brands and how we can put those two disciplines together. So it's that's been really cool.
Yeah, that was one nice thing when I worked at Chernoff. Like, no one worked in a silo of just their team.
Yep.
Right. Like, it was very collaborative.
Yep.
And you were always working with someone from PR and someone from media and someone from all the other teams. And I can't think of
I just love
all the other teams, whatever.
So, I have
they do something.
The D word is a dirty word for me.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it.
Last week it was the S word, silo.
Yeah, same thing. Same problem.
Same thing.
I really do. It's really important that you have a really strong discipline team where everybody has what they're really great at, but your client team is where all the magic happens and working together. And so, the D word is not allowed. People say it at the office sometimes, and
Heather, if anyone says department, she will correct you.
The other bad word for me, which I think y'all will love this, is the word manpower.
I knew you were going to say that.
Really?
I was like, she's going to say manpower.
And to which I say,
I mean, I get it now that you said it, but just
I say people power. That's what you meant to say, right? People power.
Do a lot of people say manpower?
A lot of people say
really?
manpower.
And they're not talking about like power tools?
No.
That's where I go.
No,
they're not in construction. They're not literally men digging holes.
No, it's like the team brings a lot of manpower. It's like, okay, well, it's 90% female.
I used to get some rolled eyes at that, but I have made
by the men.
Yeah, but I've made my point really. I'm just like, that should not be in our lexicon.
No.
This is a female-driven industry, and man and woman that's a weird thing anyways. I was like, why can't we just say people power? Because you can't do it without people.
It sounds fun too. People power.
People power. Yeah.
People power.
People power.
What is that?
Doesn't sound very powerful, but
people power. What is that squeak? People power.
People power.
I also wouldn't say that. I would wordsmith something new.
I love it.
Yeah. So those are my two dirty words.
Cool.
Manpower.
You want to get into your zodiacs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be weird. I find it interesting.
Tell me about it. I know nothing.
I have said so many times on the podcast and off, I think Chernoff Newman, we did personality tests. I have always said, get rid of the personality tests. Let's get into astrology because I will know instantly if I find out what my coworkers' zodiacs are. Oh, I'm going to know if we're going to jive or not.
Okay.
Well, and last week we talked about the Myers-Briggs is just the horoscope of the business world.
Right.
Yeah.
I also realized editing last week, I am not whatever I said I was.
Oh, no.
I'm an ENTJ. I think I said I was an ENFJ. I'm not. It's a T.
Oh, so you and me are not the same.
We're not the same.
Okay. But my sister's probably going to listen and correct me.
Right.
Because she was like, that's not what I am, because she had told me she was whatever you were.
ENTJ.
Yeah.
My power animal is the lion. I don't know what
she's something different then.
ENFJ is. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Your sun sign is Capricorn, which you knew.
I didn't know it was a sun sign.
That's what it's called. It's your sun sign. Yes. Okay. Yes. My moon is in Capricorn.
Okay.
Your moon sign is a Pisces.
Okay.
So I'm a sun Pisces. So like we're
I was going to say you're a flip flop of each other.
And then your rising sign is a Virgo.
I know nothing of Virgos.
I don't know much about Virgos. But yeah, so your sun sign is who you are. So Capricorn is like who you are at the core.
Okay.
So typically whatever you read about astrology is what that is. I can talk a lot about Pisces. Your moon sign is how you rule your emotions.
Okay.
So you have a Pisces moon sign. So it's what controls your emotions and moods. So it's like a water sign.
Okay.
It's a little bit more fluid than what most like earth signs would be. I don't know anything about Virgo, but your rising sign, I can look it up. Your rising sign, though, is how you present to the world.
Okay.
So it's like how people perceive you in the beginning. So
interesting.
Yeah. So that's what when I found mine out, I was like, this makes sense because my rising sign's Leo, which is usually like center of attention, all of that, which is not me at all. But I'm like, I bet this is why people assume I'm an extrovert all the time.
Yes.
And think I'm so comfortable speaking. And I'm like, I have gotten to the point I'm comfortable speaking from people, but they assume they're so shocked when I say I'm an introvert.
I remember
like to
this
have
when
time.
you told me this, and I was like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm a rising Leo.
Yes. So I'm a rising Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, which is, that's why I'm like, I'm a little sassy. I'm a little bold, like I'm in your face.
Yes.
Yeah. But deep down, I'm a water sign. So one of the biggest things about that is like, it takes a while to really to really make a water sign angry, but then like it's for life. I'm not letting go until one of us is in the ground.
Gotcha.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this explains a little bit more about you if you're interested in hearing.
I definitely need to know what Virgo is about. If that's how people perceive me.
Yeah,
so
we're going to look this one up.
We're going to start with Capricorn sun.
Okay.
All right. So it means that you're fundamentally responsible, serious, efficient, and rational.
I would say yes.
I would agree with all that. It can lead to power hungry ambitiousness.
Yeah.
You have a tendency for workaholism and success.
Were they listening? Like,
and you like to support the dreams of those around you.
Man, dead on.
You are emotionally reserved, and you need to learn more to express your inner world and have more fun.
That feels very.
I feel like you said all these things on this episode.
Exactly. That's what I said. It's Chat GPT, like recording what I'm saying and just spitting it out. Yeah.
All right. So your moon sign is Pisces.
Okay. I know nothing about Pisces.
So it reflects your personality when you're alone or like deeply comfortable.
Okay.
It means your emotional self is very empathic, dreamy, sensitive, and gentle.
Okay.
So that explains that like it's mixed in with the earth sign.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I have a little bit of dirt and a lot of water. You got a lot of dirt and a little bit of water.
Yeah, I love it.
You feel vulnerable much of the time. I don't know about that.
Do you?
No.
Can't be all the way right.
You wish for a partner who deeply understands you.
Yep.
I would think everybody, though.
Now we have to that one. Now we got to do ties next.
You find security and safety through routines.
Through routines? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very accurate.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Virgo. I don't know anything about Virgo.
We're all going to learn here.
And rising sign, this is how people perceive me.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you if it's right or not.
Okay, here we go.
You come across as precise, diligent, peace-seeking, and organized.
Okay.
The organized part.
Have you seen my tabs? Have you seen my tabs?
Well, you're talking to me.
I know.
But in general, though,
she's neurotic.
We're
think.
Fine.
Yes, exactly. Totally agree with that.
I went straight to your browser tabs when she said that. But no, I think overall people probably do think you're pretty organized.
Yeah, I mean,
I have as somebody who's a client, yes.
I have my own
You do
system.
have a system. It's a different system than mine. We've had this conversation many times while working together.
Yes.
Our systems are very different, but they work for us.
They do.
Yes.
My system works for me.
Yes.
This also says you can be attached to work.
This feels accurate.
Yeah.
You're very attached to the details and the pursuit of perfection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the Virgo rising sign
man.
That is very accurate.
I'm just saying, throw out the personality test. We already have the answer.
This is only the top 3. It goes on, and I don't get real into like the in-depth stuff. But yeah, so now you know a little bit more.
Now I know.
Now you know. You learn a little bit about yourself today.
Yep.
I find this stuff interesting. I mean, it gets real in depth. Like if the Mars is in the 23rd degree of the Sagittarius house, I'm like, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
You need to find somebody with a nose ring and a crystal if you want that much in depth.
Yes.
I just do the top 3.
I love
very
it.
informative.
Yeah. I also I didn't get to talk about this earlier, but I did wanted to say thank you for wearing cool glasses.
Oh, you're welcome.
So we talk about, I call them capital D designers, but also capital C creatives.
Okay.
They always have cool glasses. Like you look like what we think we're going to be when we're in college.
And I'm very jealous.
Nina was the same way. And then Danielle has like perfect vision.
Perfect vision.
Okay.
But what do you say?
It's gonna
Did you
come
always
back to
wear
haunt you.
glasses?
So I got glasses. I'm gonna tell you my story. I got glasses. It's either in 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
And I was very involved in sports.
Yeah.
And I hated the idea of glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I play all kinds of sports, but I was also a gymnast. And my mom, I'd just been hiding for the fact that I couldn't see for a long time. Like I couldn't see far away. And
That's fine.
My mom came to pick me up at gymnastics. And I guess she had been watching me. Like she was seeing
fumbling
that I was
around,
winning and stuff. And she asked me what time it was, and the clock was on the other side of the gym. And I said, "Hold on a minute, I have to get a sip of water." And I ran to the water fountain. I was like, "What time is it? I can't see it." And that's when she's like, "You can't see, can you?" And I said, "No, I can't." So we went to the eye doctor, and I cried all the way there because I hated the idea of having to wear glasses. And the eye doctor, like they do, they put the stuff in front of you and they like point you out the window. And then I burst out into tears. So I was like, there's so much there that I just didn't realize.
Yep.
So that was in, I guess, 3rd grade. And then Danielle, this is my trick. The people who used to make fun of me and call me Four Eyes in 6th grade, glasses became cool, and people would just wear them with clear lenses.
They're doing it now with no lenses in it.
And I was just like,
at least fake it.
What is this? Like these people made fun of me, and now it's cool to wear glasses. So if you really feel like you want to get glasses,
just wear some fake ones. That's fair.
I mean, they make the kind now that they're blue light glasses, so that you.
I see people do that a lot.
I can't remember if we talked about it, but like during the pandemic, a couple of us got some blue light glasses, but it was like also you didn't have to worry about putting makeup on.
Exactly. Yeah. So the glasses I wear now, I wear contacts still.
Yeah.
But I was not exactly 40 when I started having to hold my phone far away from my face, but it came shortly after that. And my doctor was like, well, let's just try like one contact for close up and one for far away. And after 2 weeks of not seeing anything, nothing, I couldn't see anything. I went back and I was like, this isn't working. And she was like, yeah, how long have you been in contacts? And I said, since 8th grade. And she's like, okay, yeah, well, your brain is probably not going to be able to retrain itself. So just go get some readers. So I remember
face that Eva just made.
Well, because I've been wearing glasses since I was 13. I was failing math and I was good at math. And I thought it was because I was like talking to my friend. And then it just turned out because I couldn't read the board and I didn't realize I couldn't read the board. Like I just didn't know. And then I got glasses and I also had a moment where like I said to my mom, you're supposed to see the leaves on the trees.
Exactly. That's what it was. It was literally
leaves on the trees. And then I got home, I was like, you're supposed to see the fibers of the carpet. And she's like, oh my God.
Touching everything.
My parents were mortified at the fact that
my mother
I could
as well.
not see.
Yeah. So I've worn glasses and they made me wear glasses for like a year before like I would be responsible enough to wear contacts. And then I wore contacts and then I wore them so much that I've gotten so many eye infections in my life because well now I have disposable ones.
Right, that's what I have to.
It's a little fun to like if you stay in a hotel room with me like to see where I stick my contacts when I pull them out. Because you used to have to
find them in weird spots.
You do find them in weird spots. And they really stick if you don't come back and get them soon. But I used to have the ones that they weren't dailies. And I didn't want to throw them away as fast as you're supposed to because they're expensive. They're expensive. And so I would wear, you're only supposed to wear them for like 8 or 10 hours a day. They tell me that now. And I'm like, okay. Love that. So I would get eye infections from like wearing them too long, keeping them too long. I was also bad about, I saw somebody with hard contacts once, like take it out and put it in his mouth and put it back in his eye. You're not supposed to do that with soft contacts, but I did it all the time. Yeah. Because my eye would get dry. Yeah. Now I keep eye drops on me because I'm a whole human and an adult. But when you're 16 and hanging out in a field.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
What you going to do?
It's super interesting to me now, though, because glasses have come, like they used to be so expensive.
God.
It's kind of like you would get your glasses and my parents would be like, pick out the ones you really like.
Yeah.
They're going to be your glasses for quite some time.
Yeah.
I always pick the strawberry shortcake ones. But they're so much more affordable now. Like you can get different frames and
now they're like, I mean,
so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing Warby Parker for a while where they're like $100 a pop. And then I think there's even cheaper options out.
There are.
I got real fussy about wearing glasses during the pandemic because the mask would make them fog up. And I'm just so used to like wearing contacts. I had to wear glasses on one of the episodes of the podcast, but I still wore like my big earrings and it was just a lot of look. Like my hair was out. I have giant earrings on and glasses. I'm like, pick a lane, ma'am. Just pick a lane.
Pick one.
But my mom has like her lenses are so like her glasses are still $800 a pair. And it's just the lenses. Like it's not even the frames. Like luckily I have very just like janky eyes. And
I have to pay extra for not my readers, but if I have glasses that I wear at night, I do take my contacts out like you're supposed to.
Yeah, I don't sleep in them anymore. I'm doing great. We're doing great.
But I have to pay to get the skinnier, like they.
Oh yeah,
yes, because otherwise
to make them
it'd
skinny.
be like Coke bottle glasses.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. You have no idea.
If I was not in my glasses or contacts, and
you wouldn't be allowed to be on the podcast.
I wouldn't be able to see you. I mean, I'd be like, oh, there's a fuzzy blob.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to see you. I wouldn't be able to see anything.
You would be Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we would. Do you have, I always feel this way. Do you have this weird irrational fear? And I used to I've never said it out loud until I saw somebody on TikTok say it a couple years ago. Did you ever have this weird thought in your head? Like, my eyesight is so poor. What would have happened if I'd been born 500 years ago? Would I have just died?
Because your head hurts so badly.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think about that? I think about that kind of stuff.
I've also thought about if you get the LASIK or something, like the idea that you could wake up in the morning and see your alarm clock baffles me. I think it would trip me out to be able to actually see when you wake up in the morning.
Oh my God.
It scares me.
Well, and I'll
see, and then you say stuff like that, and I'm sitting here terrified of when I can't.
Oh no.
Well, if the way yours is going to happen though, Danielle, it's going to be gradual, and it's not going to be your alarm clock. It's just going to be you look at your phone one day and you're like,
it's going to be minor compared. I can't see anything without my contacts or glasses.
No, I can't see anything either.
Nothing. I keep spare contacts in my bag and in my car because if one tears.
Yeah,
I can't drive home.
No, I can't drive either. Learned that lesson the hard way.
Oh yeah, so if I
always have an extra pair.
Or you end up driving home like
this.
Yeah, we got this.
We're doing great. So,
all right. Well, Heather, thank you. We said this leaving the interview with Mina, but not many freelancers would invite their boss to be a guest on their podcast.
I was like, I don't know that I'm going to do this. But.
So I appreciate you coming on and being our second guest on the Ghost Boss podcast.
Well, I appreciate the invitation.
Yeah, of course. All right. And be sure to join us next week. We'll be back with another episode.
Yep. I think it'll be just us this time.
Who knows?
We've had 4 now where we had a guest and it's been fun, but
sometimes we just need a sass.
Yeah. Back to the OG. Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Ghost Boss Podcast. And also please like and review us on your favorite podcast app.